Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Now, for this lesson, I think I'm going to make it fully asynchronous this afternoon, whereas I'm not going to be here present online with you guys. I'm going to leave a video for you to follow along and make your notes from. Now, it's continuing from our last class where we started drawing our first cumulative frequency curve. If you remember, I would have given you this table to do out in the last class, and most of you were able to tell me that you got a curve similar to what I have here on the screen. Now, if you don't have this curve yet, I recommend you make sure you have it in your graph book, because you're going to use this curve to answer the questions that I gave you at the end of the last class, such as how many students scored less than 50%, how many students scored between 50 and 80, how many students scored greater than 90, the median score, as well as identifying the median, the upper quartile and lower quartile respectively. So the first question we are asked is how many students scored less than 50% on the test. So what you would do, you would first look at your x-axis, which represents the grades or the percentage scores, and you would find 50. You would take your ruler and you would draw a nice light line all the way up from 50 to where it touches your curve. It touches my curve at about this particular point right here. For you, it may be slightly different, but now you take your ruler once again and you draw a straight line from where it touches the curve to the y-axis. And for me, that is the point right here. Now on my y-axis, this reads as, let's see, that is 15, 16, about 16.5. I would round it up to about 17. So I would say 17 students scored less than 50% on the unit test. So our next question is, how many students scored between 50% and 80%? Now what I would want to do now is look for 80 on my x-axis. That represents those students that scored 80% or less. And I'm going to draw a line from 80 straight up to my curve. And hopefully it touches the curve at the right point. Okay, so my line touches the curve right here. And I'm going to draw a horizontal line now from that point to the y-axis. Again, I recommend you use a long ruler whenever you are doing any kind of graph work, so you don't have to move your hand so much. So I'm going to make a note of this value. This seems to be 36. But I want the persons between these two values. Remember, we did 50 just now, and now we are at 80. So what I would do to work this out is a simple subtraction. I will subtract 17 from 36. So 36 subtract 17, and that will tell me 19 students scored between the percentages of 50 and 80%. Now question 3 is asking us how many students scored greater than 90%. So what we would do here now, we would identify 90 on the graph, we would come up, and it is this exact point right here, which if I take my ruler should correspond directly to 39. So it goes across here to 39. However, I want to know the person that scored greater than 90. So instead of taking my answer as 39, I would try to find a difference between 39 and 40. And of course, that would only be 1. So one student was able to score greater than 90% in that unit test. Okay? Now for the next set of questions, I'm going to erase these faint lines that I have on my graph so far, because I'm going to work out the median and the interquartile ranges for this particular curve. Okay, so to do that, what we would do, we will start by finding the median. Now from the table itself, it would have been quite hard or pretty much impossible to find out that median as it was, but from the cumulative frequency curve, we can find the median one time by looking at the halfway value on our y-axis. Okay, so the median, because there were 40 students, right? We look for the halfway value of 40, which is 20. So what we do, we draw a line from 20 straight across to the curve. Wherever it touches, we then draw a dotted line coming down. Okay, now I may use a darker marking for this one so everyone can see it clearly, but this is our median value, our middle value for this set of data. And right now it is reading as, remember the x-axis was going across in single digits, so that's 51, 52, 53, 54. Our median score was 54%. So now that we found the median, remember that the median refers to Q2 when we're talking about quartiles. And to find the lower quartile, we simply find a quarter of the amount of students we had. We had 40 students, and a quarter of that would be 10. Okay, so our lower quartile is the exact quarter mark of our y-axis. So we take our ruler and we draw a dotted line or a straight line, whichever you care to draw, until it touches the y-axis. And of course you come down here to see what the representative mark is. And right now it seems that Q1 represents 39% on the test. And likewise, to find the upper quartile, that would represent 3/4 of the amount of students we had. So because we had 40, 3/4 of 40 represents the 30 mark on the y-axis. So I take my ruler and I go across from the y-axis. You can use dotted lines or a nice straight line. Make it nice and dark so you can see. And we come down now to see where the corresponding mark is on the x-axis. So it seems that my Q3 mark, or my upper quartile mark, is about 65, 66, 67%. So this is 67%, and that represents Q3. All right. So this is how you use your cumulative frequency curve to answer some questions. All right, now I'm going to pull up the slides on the screen once again so you can have a better view as to what your curve should look like and where your quartiles are. Now it does take practice drawing these curves, so we have to maybe practice a few more of these. For me, I let my wrist be loose and I just try to get the curve as smooth as possible. The smoother and better your curve, the more accurate your answers will be on the graph paper. Alright, so at the end of this class now, I'm going to give you guys a worksheet to go and do. In this worksheet, you're not necessarily going to plot one of these again, but it is still a cumulative frequency question that came on a past paper. So I'm going to leave that worksheet for you to try at the end of class for lesson 2. Alright everyone, thank you for watching and go and have a good day.